Okay, let's take a run at this next leg of this, some may say expose, but hey, my mental acuity at age 72, well, it's not that terrible bad since I've kind of recovered from my drug abuse days, shall we say, which did not encompass taking drugs intentionally. Okay, so here goes. Let's take a shot at this. So, what do you do if you are a Soros in the States, a Xi Jinping over in China, or the Iranian people who are just itching to get nuclear power so they can bomb the hell out of Israel and the great Satan, which is the United States of America. And children, we Canadians are too close to the United States of America, okay? I had the privilege and the honor of speaking with a friend of mine, bright man, speaks Parisian French, is my understanding. He grew up in a little place called Belgium, and that's where the big horses came from that my dad loved so much. And he said, well, Putin will understand that Joe Biden is just old and not quite right in the head. And so he probably won't get too offended when Biden repeatedly says one day we have to get rid of Putin. He's a butcher. He shouldn't be allowed in power. Well, Biden's an idiot, and he shouldn't be allowed in power either. So, but they both are. You have to understand. You don't have to do anything, but you may consider that Russian people, normal, everyday people, are no different than their cousins in the Ukraine who are normal, everyday people. Both have a tenacity, a stubbornness that indicates a certain relationship to we Irish, because we are. I had a friend one time, and he said, Martin, and he said it in front of a couple of hundred people. He said, Jim Martin is the most determined person he had ever met. And I thought, that's true. Dear God in heaven, may it be that I am determined and not stubborn. The jury's still out on that one, unfortunately. Anyways, so you have a bona fide old man who seems to be playing with senility, Alzheimer's. I had the privilege and the honor one time of meeting two Indian from India doctors who were looking at our ranch back when it was listed at $2 under $2 million. And we had a wonderful talk. I mean, they said it was close to what they were after, maybe not quite. So we just talked. We just had fun. I mean, geez, I didn't really want to sell it anyway, so sure should have sold it at $2 million rather than as my wife sold it, ex-wife sold it at $980. Good grief. Crazy. And anyways, I said, I have heard about some type of spice that is used in India. She said turmeric. And I said, yes. And I said, it curtails Alzheimer's. It curtails the semi-natural deterioration of the person's individual ability to be cognitive? She said, yes. She said, we do not have one person in India who suffers from Alzheimer's. She said, I'm not saying we don't have crazy people over there, because we do. But she says, they're not crazy because they forgot who they were. They are crazy because they're crazy. But she said it's turmeric. Or some people would pronounce it turmeric. It doesn't matter. It's spelled the same. You pronounce it however you want. And I've taken that for years because, I mean, I am neither handsome nor much of anything else. And I thought, geez, at least I can keep my mental acuity in gear somewhat. And I may not be handsome, but I can process thought. And presumptuous, perhaps, but nonetheless, I take a shot at the processing thought. Now, so, what do you do with Biden? What do you do with a president who says one thing on one day, and then the next day, all day, the White House staff are walking him back, and they're saying, you didn't really mean that. He would say, I said it. Why didn't I mean it? Well, you didn't mean it because you shouldn't say it. Okay. And then half an hour later, he's answering some idiot's question out there, and he's saying the same thing he said that caused the White House staff to go crazy. Why there aren't more of those people quitting, I have no idea. Probably because they're so interested in how the hell this is going to turn out that they don't want to quit. They don't want to be responsible for the idiocy of the President of the United States of America. But listen, let's think about this for a second. So, they put old Joe out to pasture, right? Okay. I don't mean shoot him. Well, he wouldn't even know if he'd been shot. Give him a couple of gallons of ice cream and let him just sit there by himself and freeze certain body parts right off. Not the least of which the remainder of his brain that still may work. I'm saying that from a rather positive standpoint. Who are they going to put in place of Joe Biden? Kamilla Harris? Well, are you kidding me? Have you spent any time? Have you studied what that woman has said? Take a look at this old Irish guy. I hold women in the deepest of respect. Strongest person I ever met was a woman. And I mean mental acuity, articulate beyond measure, physicality, unbelievable, strong. Probably didn't have a pound of registerable fat on her body. Smart, dear Lord. My mom, bright old Irish girl. I hold women in high regard. You have to understand that. Kamilla Harris is dumber than a fence post on a good day. She stood in Europe and explained to the European NATO countries, she said, here's where we're at. This is very serious. There is a country, and it's called the Ukraine. And it's a small country. Next to it is a big country, and it's called Russia. And Russia invaded the little country. She said, this is very serious. And I thought, you really believe that crap you're saying and the way in which you're saying it? All wisdom and intelligence stopped with your mom and dad in the and the procreating of you? Don't talk to people like they're idiots. They may well live up to your expectations. So they put old Joe out to rest, and Kamilla Harris comes in, and her whole game plan is the biggest problem in the world is global warming. It's global warming. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Why do we worry about global warming when the countries of the world who are getting ready to take over don't? Think about that. How stupid can you be? Okay. This is getting real good, children. You may not recognize it as such, but you listen, bear with me. Or just, blessed, turn the thing off. It's your call. So, Xi Jinping wants to take over the world. He's using Putin to disturb Europe, distract Europe, while he gets ready to invade Taiwan. Next to it are the Philippines. And somehow there's someone in the States smart enough in the military. It's hard to believe. I mean, I thought all the intelligent generals retired and were working for Fox News. And that's just about the truth. But now the U.S. is doing exercises in the Philippines. But Xi Jinping, he wants to take over the world. And he's going to. And one of the first casualties is, of course, the United States of America, their denigration, their humiliation, their diminishing of values. And what is happening? The world economy will be based on Chinese money. The Chinese are effectively taking over the commerce of the world. Now, they all have a few people who will argue with them, but not much. That's what they're doing. And the United States of America, they're so close to being bankrupt, it's a joke. And they're still making money. Canada, Trudeau, laughable. He now is buying a bunch of F-35s, which is a good thing. There was a reason why Stephen Harper didn't buy those things, because they won't run in the north. They will not operate at minus 50 degrees. So what good are they in the north? What is the alternative? Well, Diefenbaker killed the alternative back in the 50s. It was called the Avro Arrow. That sucker was the first jet fighter that could have taken and changed the world. And it would have changed Canada from being a polite group of people with nothing to gain and or nothing to lose. And we, as Canadians, would have been a military force to be reckoned with, but with our proclivity for electing liberals, well, we would have screwed that up anyways. We would. So, I'm trying to jam some stuff in here. Oh, 14 something. Oh, jeez. Anyways, I'm not gonna jam this. If you're hearing anything, then do what YouTube tell me to do. Oh, they tell me to do a lot. Don't you dare talk about thus and so. It's not allowed. Okay? So I have to talk about what semi-plausible to them. And I do. they don't seem to mind picking on political leaders in the world who are misbehaving. But they may. Who knows? We'll find out. Anyways, okay. I may have to do another video because I'm not going beyond 16 minutes. We're at 15, 16 right now. If I run out of steam, well then, I will have run out of steam. If you run out of being able to stomach the crap that I'm saying, I'll pray for you. Okay? Are we in trouble? You gotta be kidding, children. We're right up to our ears in quicksand. My son and I, we got in quicksand on a couple of horses once. Okay, God bless. Don't fret. Don't bury your head in the blessed sand either.